This one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets? Are you serious?
I've still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Gold watch.
Beautiful it is. We fancy it and share the takings. I suppose we are undertakers. Now, give him an Eve. That's impossible. This makes no sense. None of it. No sense at all. It's a nightmare. That's it. So be it. Rational thinking only. This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
Madness it is, as mad as the moon, who takes blinding sunlight into a glowing
voice in my head. If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me what I am. I must find him to understand what I have become.
Where is it? It's closed.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Here's the leech. Here! My head's spinning.
Oi! Come out, you coward! Clever fucking beasts.
I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the West End. Go back home. It's locked.
Die, vermin!
A strength I never knew I had. This shouldn't be possible. Reassemble every fiber of my being is a fire. I feel like a child learning the limits of my body. My strength, my reflexes. I'm not human anymore. My poor sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood. Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us. I can't believe I'm doing this. It's locked, all right. I cannot enter. The dizziness from the jump. I can now control it. I cannot enter. What will London have to say to me? I've so many questions unanswered. Another corpse. Have the very streets of London become a mausoleum? The man has been drained of all blood. But I can still smell the scent of it. I follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant. Fresh blood. The smell is so strong. This is a slaughterhouse. It's locked. There is no one in sight. Where has everyone gone? According to the blood patterns, that's where the victim was attacked. So that must be the killer's trail. At last,
Welcome,
a
sir,
little
to the
life.
Turquoise Turtle. My God, sir, you look like Judge.
No, thank you.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest.
Why is it going?
You must be new around here.
Tell me more.
Every morning for the...
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here. We're on our own. People die in these parts all the time, and no one cares.
Where am I? Where is this place?
You're at my bar, sir, the Turquoise Turtle. The last ray of light in this dangerous part of town.
Aren't you scared?
Scared of what? All the bad shit happens out on the foggy streets. And I never go outside.
So you're open all night?
Yep. Figured people might need a place to rest in these dark times.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
Who is this man? What does he look like?
Well, like a gentleman, I guess. Well-dressed, quite polite. A professor or something fancy like that. Always writing, reading notes.
How long has he been here?
He rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And,
Yes?
no funny business. You hear me? This is a respectable establishment.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India.
Good evening, sir. I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last few hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
Are they stupid or something?
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not...
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone. Blame the sewer dog, eh?
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own darkness. We can all be monsters.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
I think I'm losing my mind. I should just run as far away from the place as I can.
It's locked.
Hello, sir.
I think
Are you all right? Is there any way I can...
I don't know.
Maybe you prefer to...
What is this?
This is Tom's bar. The Turquoise Turtle.
Are you always open this late?
No, it's...
You don't seem to have much...
Most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out.
What's going on around here?
Too many dead, sir.
The murders?
Bodies found in...
The sewer dog?
No one knows.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah. Killed so many last summer.
Are the authorities...
Nothing.
I just want to talk.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers.
I only see one customer.
Oh. Well, yeah. Of course. I mean... I best check on them.
I'll leave then. Thank you.
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
But they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain? You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you?
I mean you no harm.
Saith the vampire. Present yourself.
I need a word with anyone.
Well, that's something I can do for you. And who might you be?
I'm not sure that I know anymore.
Might I at least learn the reason of your presence?
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
I've been hunted down in the streets and attacked. I'm a victim here, too.
I believe you.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docks have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
And what exactly is this Brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor? That explains a great deal. We are both chasing the same shadow.
A shadow, indeed. Yet I heard his voice in my head. There was a moment I believed I was mad.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
I will at last have the answers to my questions.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again. Go hunt your shadow.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must know.
Evening, sir.
I have a few... I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth?
I suspect...
I'm just the barmaid here.
I can feel your...
It's...
What happened?
He was dead drunk.
Why are you so...
I mean, his skin.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor.
Why keep it as...
Tom's nothing, if not...
I see.
You best talk to Tom.
Hello, sir.
And you're still out?
I'll leave...
Welcome back.
I can't say I...
Hey, I told you, you would...
Tom, talk to me.
Yes, Will came by.
Why lie to me?
I didn't lie.
Who is he?
William?
Is he dangerous?
Yeah.
How was he tonight?
Sicker than usual, perhaps.
I need to find him.
You could try his...
Please describe...
What do you expect?
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him...
Not long ago, this sort of mess would have given me a laugh.
Things are turning for the worse around here.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city. The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself. What's this? These men, they're a company of professional vampire hunters. This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. Blood and empty gin bottles. This Bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge. It's locked, all right.
Let's head back to a warm fire. Shut that foolish mouth of yours. You ever known McCullum to be wrong about anything?
Right. No time I can remember. But I've only been part of the guard 3 weeks to the day.
Sorry, sir. No admittance. If the man says blood, are you deaf? Over there! There's one of them vermin!
It's locked. Ammunition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm... back on the front line again.
Best stay back, sir. Over there! There's one of them. It ain't human! Kill it! Regardless, it's on to us! Over there!
I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable. Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy. This place reeks of bloodshed.
William, please stop. I promise. My dearest friend, you're my last and dearest friend. William, I can't feel it.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
William, please, stop. Let me go. It's not too late. William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by skull?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed this drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me. This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood. Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a... good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox.
Follow me, Mr. Cox.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide-and-seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a...
Thank you. Nurse...
Yes, Dorothy Crane.
I would like to... And Mr. Hampton?
I gave him a sedative to help him...
What kind of...
Well, you accepted the job from him.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only...
Dr. Swansea is a
If you could point...
Second floor of the hospital.
Thank you, Nurse.
It's safer here than anywhere else.
Good evening, sir.
I've already heard about you, Doctor.
That's quite a blunt.
You can call me Milton.
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm no doctor.
You have a keen eye.
No need to...
Are you really smuggling weapons?
And why not? I've already been attacked by...
But you're not
You keep people alive your own way.
So what do you do?
I've been in...
It sounds like...
Yesterday I got...
You left.
Go there yourself if you want.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete
How is the situation?
You want to hear the
I'd like to see your...
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is...
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
What can I do?
Thank you, Nurse Crane. Good evening, sir.
I don't know if a third opinion...
I see.
I'm Harvey Fiddick.
Is there anything else that...
I'm all right.
Tell me about it.
I'm just a regular guy waiting.
I was more curious...
I'm a carpenter.
Tell me about the
Strickland and Aykroyd.
What do you mean?
I often had professional...
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured.
I won't lie to you.
Are you sure you don't want...
In other circumstances... Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book. Never could keep anything from her.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
You seem worried about...
I cannot give up on my children.
What about their mother?
She died in 19...
Tell me more about the death of your...
1915.
What happened? I'm sorry.
I would like to say...
How are your children?
They were smaller then.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Doctor.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
No.
Really?
I don't want to...
I suppose...
Yes.
Could you at least...
More...
Tell me about your...
I don't... So...
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just...
Yes, maybe.
How painful.
So...
I'll let...
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Matt.
It's my son.
I'm Dr. John...
I'm bit...
What can you...
Not...
Are you...
Yeah.
May I ask if you...
I'm a teacher by profession.
What do you think of your reception?
I have had...
Is there something...
Some of the...
Tell me more about your arrival.
The ambulance...
What do you mean?
She managed to...
She charged you?
Yes.
I share your
I don't expect
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blooming idiot.
Good evening, sir.
Reed, yes, I've been informed about your arrival.
Does my arrival
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need...
If you have a...
Dr. Swansea has imposed your...
I know we've never met before.
Oh.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reed. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly.
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering.
I don't intend to run any...
Modern medical methods were created...
It seems...
I reflect...
We can at least... I don't know what you...
I don't
And what exactly...
I served in the war.
Be careful what you...
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Knowledge.
It is not a question of...
Thank you for your time.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blundering idiot. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr.
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for?
You keep
Well...
Do you require my service?
I have no need for your medicine,
And why do...
I don't need to...
Please.
I can hear my...
I see.
Never?
It's a mental...
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and...
I'm assuming...
It's only a cover. To hide...
Who are these?
I can...
The staff here...
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white.
I see.
Thank you, mortal.
And why do you believe...
I don't need to...
Do you require my services, Miss...
I have no...
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for...
I'll leave you, Miss...
Not now!
It's locked, all right. It's locked. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? The flower's dying. It needs water.
Hurry now, Doctor. It's freezing here.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis. Our supply of antiseptic...
Sorry.
Some of the patients won't last the night.
I may have a solution.
However, do you...
If
The store...
Perhaps I should look...
It's the large building...
The abandoned morgue behind... It's locked, all right. Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody... I cannot enter. Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. It's locked. These scowls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood. It's locked. Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into it. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the... Multiple abrasions. The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insert. Signs of internal bleeding. Tippett has made an egregious error. Tippett had... These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting. Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage. The flower's dying. It needs water. It's locked, all right.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't...
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but...
It's not me you have to convince, Doctor.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can't...
That's tempting, Doctor. But you haven't...
How painful.
It's so painful overall.
I have to go now, sir.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
I will not let you
Good
down,
evening,
my
Doctor.
boy.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
We may lack the resources, but we have some of the most brilliant minds.
Dr. Reed.
For how...
I first volunteered at the Pembroke in my...
And before you...
If you must know.
Well, Dr. Swans...
Not in an official...
What about...
Dr. Reed, we don't...
How is the...
Everybody works...
What can you... What
This...
can you...
Well...
I'll see you later, Nurse Crane. Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Do you need my medical attention?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you, not to be a burden.
Please, could you tell me something about...
I'm a great admirer of your...
What made you choose...
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work.
I'll give you some advice, but understand that...
Of course, sir. And...
I based my technique on my mentor's research.
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just...
As long as you're cautious and methodical.
You're not the first one to warn me. But I am
What can you tell me about...
Well, it has always been an honor to work with doctors.
Do you need help with it?
Well, yes.
Do you want me to play the...
Oh, no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his...
I see. You seem quite...
I'm convinced that...
Questions from...
True.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded.
With the influenza and all that's...
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to...
So you believe it's just a question...
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he...
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical...
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion tech...
What is it you really want?
Fair question. I want nothing but...
Tell me, Mr.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because...
But why would he hide such...
Because he is a proud father.
This personal...
I agree.
Do you think keeping...
All I know is...
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about your
My wife died because of me.
How could your job...
I was working a double.
You can't hold yourself...
Of course I didn't hurt myself, but I...
Goodbye for now, Mr.
My sweet girl reads me like a book.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate. It's locked.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plane and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
It's locked.
Medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you...
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think?
Strickland is playing with his patient's life.
Are you thinking about something?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery.
And are you not...
Rivalry?
Why do...
I strongly...
If you are going to lead this surgery...
I'm not the kind of man who runs a...
Why do you wish to...
I strongly believe...
If you are...
I'm not the...
Thank you for your time. It's locked, all right.
Buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
Good evening.
I need blood.
Who are you?
Is that not enough?
I'm curious.
No, it's such a long...
I'll leave you. Good evening, sir.
Unless you're here to...
I'm Dr. Reed.
You guessed right.
How is your...
Oh, it's...
Can I ask you...
It's the pain.
Can I...
No.
Who is treating you?
Nobody since...
You don't see...
My face.
Why do you feel responsible for the...
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells.
Why lie about...
Come on. It's what...
Reconstructive surgery has been...
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
Tell me what...
I went with a whore. In Rwanda.
Did you start the fire?
No. It's just that I would...
Where were you...
I really did...
No offense.
You were an officer, weren't you?
How close are you to Miss Hawcroft? Are you aware that she thinks...
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid?
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on...
So do you let her bite you?
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood.
She could decide to bite less...
And it's another good reason for me to stay here.
You do realize she's meant...
In her madness, she never refers to my scars.
Goodbye for now, Miss. Good evening, Mr. Hampton.
Dr. Reed, is it? Huh?
What do you mean? You remained perfect.
Thank you, Doctor. That's a
How did you end?
I had received alarming news about his recent...
Why?
William was an alcoholic.
You dared to end...
I'm just a man trying to help his...
Do you know Tom?
Tom? Yes, of course. Always to help.
Who should I avoid in this part?
Not really.
People are...
How could it be otherwise?
What is the
The situation has always been tough.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been through?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long. Yeah.
What do you do?
I manage a night asylum for the...
Why didn't you use your cross?
That's a very strange question, Doctor.
Are you a...
Not at all, Doctor.
Have you made...
Not really. But I recognize Miss Harriet.
You never came to see her here.
You're preaching to the converted now.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton?
I feel exhausted.
You're in good hands.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. It's locked, all right. Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
I have some...
What?
I retrieved your...
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my...
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take...
What's going on?
Pippa's tired.
You do...
Come on.
During the...
Maybe you...
Goodbye, Milton. Good evening, nurse.
Dr. Swansea has already told...
Did he really?
All members...
I see.
You must know. Blood...
How are...
Not...
Anne in...
Sorry, Doctor.
Do you think this hot...
We are all volunteers.
I'm not familiar...
Brilliant professionals.
Most of them. Is...
It would be inappropriate.
Is there anyone...
Well, I have never met someone as...
Why should his age...
I guess it's fair to say he's always...
Nurse Branagh...
No. I made...
Do you require medical...
Thank you for your...
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if...
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
It may seem strange, but...
Forgive me. I've been...
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survived.
A spokesman or
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that...
And you would like me?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble it...
Do you need some...
I have just a few...
Then ask away.
Since you seem quite the expert...
As men of science, our first...
The sun. The morning following my... transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory.
He was a Skull, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire.
How do Skulls come...
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are...
Just for clarity.
A Skull is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
You mentioned some...
Certainly. I've been a...
That explains your nightly wandering.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
Since I'm the one working for you...
Well, for many years, we have been the only...
Where do we stand today?
Oh, to be honest, we cope on a date.
What do you expect of me?
What we need...
We'll see each other...
see, soon enough you'll be able to walk out.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you.
You must get...
Sorry.
How long have you been in...
Well, long enough to see that...
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the pep...
Not well.
Why does Milton dislike Doc?
I don't know. Just ask him.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Pippa, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes, Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as an...
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect...
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to...
Have you heard any talk...
You're running some official
Tell me, Thoreau.
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Doc.
Have you heard talk of it?
No.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Good evening, Mr.
I'm okay.
Have you heard?
No.
I have to go now.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, Doctor.
Have you heard room?
Dr. Reed, are you trying to take advantage of me?
Of course not, Mrs. Goswick. I'm just curious.
Well, go be curious.
Goodbye, Miss.
Never could keep anything from her.
Dr. Reed.
I'll see you later, Nat.
I'm quite busy right now.
Have you heard...
Blackmail?
Thank you for your... Good evening.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague.
A colleague? Are you a doctor?
Not anymore, sir.
What do you mean?
You know, sir. It is just that...
Have you heard of some...
Pardon me, sir.
A pawnbroker?
Yes, sir. All kind of people.
What kind?
With the quarantine, it's...
Who comes here to trade with you?
I'm very cautious, sir.
Are you afraid or uneasy being...
Why should I?
Sir, how did you get...
After I left the army...
Do you need med...
I'm feeling...
Since you're not afraid of...
No. I believe we must do all...
Do you think you would enjoy...
I don't think so.
Do you... quite...
Yes.
So you're...
No.
You're a what?
No, Dr. Reed.
Have we met?
I don't think so.
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was...
Funny story, sir. Your sister...
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very...
Why did...
Because these...
Why close...
It was for sanitary...
Tell me that...
The regiment administration appointed me by mistake. I had to learn the job on the spot, sir. Very hard, sir. But I rose to the challenge.
You can't impersonate a doctor. You can't improvise a medical education. People could die at your hands.
You're absolutely right, sir. But as a field surgeon, it was more like being a butcher.
Do you believe you have really helped these people?
My ratings were within the averages of the regiment. I saved lives, Dr. Reed. Does that not say enough about triage and war surgery?
Do you realize how many soldiers died because of that decision? You should have refused.
Yes, sir. I swear I did, sir. But no one listened. When the first wounded arrived, I had to do what I could.
It is an unbelievable story, Mr. Chidana.
It was a time beyond belief, Dr. Reed. But I'm happy not to deal with the wounded. I prefer caring for the dead now.
Tell me that... Please show me what...
Of course. It's just...
Good evening, Doc.
Have you...
There are a lot of secrets.
What kind of...
I'm not in the gossip.
Tell me what...
If a patient...
Where...
Funny you...
Admit it.
Of course she is. How else could I tell which bed is free?
Have you no
Don't you see this?
Do you need any...
I'm fine, Doc.
Why do you have such a mean...
Fuck them. Nobody knows the...
I know, it's a
I've seen babies left to die.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Goodbye, Milton.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
So it seems our Dr. Swansea does indeed...
Dr. Swansea is a remarkable...
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
You are aware that I too know the thirst for the Scarlet Nectar.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case...
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands.
What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Dr.
Our brain...
Harriet Jones. Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here.
Oh, better than any patient nurse or...
I heard there have been some despicable goings.
Blackmail? Wait.
You seem to know...
That's it. Blame the old and in...
If I didn't know better...
God's honest truth, Doctor.
I assure you, madam, this is...
Debauchery, then?
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable...
This is your business, Doctor.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Doc.
Milton cheats patients.
Yes, I am.
Is this your...
No. It is my definite...
Why?
Why?
How can you be a...
I could ask you.
Whose idea?
What difference does it make?
Answer my...
It was my idea first.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
No matter.
Who says
She could have been telling the...
that old witch?
What can you tell...
Let me guess.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
Goodbye, nurse.
Like a book. I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
They may lack the resources, but we...
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye. Good evening, sir.
So it is true.
Do we know it?
Actually, yeah.
Dr. Tip...
He was also...
Have you...
I have no time.
What is the...
This whole...
It's not...
Don't...
What can you tell me?
Summer.
Any opinion?
I don't always agree with...
Ah, yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Tell me...
No,
You...
I'll go even further. If she...
You're exhausting yourself.
No. We must...
Nurse Brown...
She should not have told you that.
You don't have to blame... Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How...
He was my patient.
What was the nature?
It was a twofold error.
Why not...
Are you mad? I killed...
Who was this?
I don't know.
Do you need any medical...
Come on.
Goodbye, Doc. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett in our situation?
To clear Dr. Tippett's name must be the decision of Dr. Swansea. You can't take matters into your own hands.
I respect Dr. Swansea's authority and management, but he's no idea what happens here on a daily basis. I did what I had to do.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Damn it! Why is this so difficult every time? That is better. That is better. I will make it through one more night.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed.
Corcoran,
He was my...
I know you're taking drugs,
I needed to...
For God's sake, what are you thinking? How can you be...
Irresponsible?
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance. I cannot enter.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
I have met...
She's a fascinating...
Is she the true reason you recruited me? To work on her condition and addiction for blood? A part of me is thinking I've been played.
Lady Ashbury is a cherished friend of mine. I would not...
The matter of...
Oh, I know too much about this matter already.
We'll see each other...
Do you need something?
I have just a few...
Then ask her.
I have met...
She's late.
We'll... It's locked, all right.
By this horrifying epidemic.
Is our little mystery closer to being
I think of nothing else, my lady.
My situation... Is our little...
I think of
My situ...
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Callaghan fellow.
Good evening.
Dr. Reed.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more...
Do you ever...
The wound...
What did...
I reached... I'm the...
That...
What a surprise.
How is you...
This is just...
What's...
Come on, Doc.
But you're a...
What do you expect?
What's wrong?
That...
I...
The nurse...
How...
On
The...
Well,
How long do you think...
I know that...
The police...
Well, I come...
Have you...
Blackmail?
I'll leave you for now, Mr...
Hey, Doc.
You're lucky to be...
This place is full...
Consider yourself lucky.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And...
Have...
Black...
I'll leave you